So recently I've been putting out a lot of negative stuff, and I don't really like that, mainly because YouTube is just so oversaturated with all this negative nonsense, and I don't really want to be contributing to that, although I still love my negative stuff. So let me talk about a movie that I just saw, and that I'm late for. Yay! Yeah, I know, reviews of this movie came out like weeks ago. So, yeah, but I just saw it. So, allow me to tell you about one of my, well, I guess, new favorite movies that I just saw. Jungle Cruise. Yes, this is real. Might actually be the perfect adventure movie. And what I mean by that isn't that it's the perfect movie. I don't think that could be done, but based off of the tropes of an adventure movie, I feel like it not only goes above but beyond. It takes what worked with Indiana Jones, Pirates, National Treasure, and yes, even the Mummy franchises, and makes it work. Every time you feel like you know what's going to happen in Jungle Cruise, they actually reveal it to be something else. Like, sure, normally stuff built off of twists and turns can be a bit obnoxious, but here it doesn't feel out of place because whatever it twists to just so happens to be another adventure movie trope. So, you'll think one thing's happening based off of a certain trope, but it's actually another thing. And that's fun. Also, the characters are great. At first, when the movie turned on, I was very, very concerned. Why? Well, because we're introduced to a British man and woman, like the Mummy, and the man is for comic relief, like the Mummy, and the girl is the smart one, like the Mummy. So I was very cautious. And then Disney hit us with our modern, you know what I mean, the modern, oh, let's pretend to be feminist by putting in everyone's face line, you know what I mean? Buy our toys, we're totally progressive and stuff line, you know what I mean, you know what I mean. And then I was like, okay, this movie's going to be a pile of doo-doo. I'm not going to like it very much. And then they introduced The Rock's character. Frank is amazing because he is a sarcastic jerk and he doesn't care about it, and that is what makes him work. And what's even better is that when Lily and McGregor, who are the British people I mentioned before, finally interact with him, it feels amazing because of course these people wouldn't get along like in The Mummy. They would kind of hate each other at first, and then the relationships grow and grow. And the romance doesn't feel forced like in The Mummy. It feels like it's built upon because the movie gives it time. And only focusing on these three characters helps the movie a lot. Also, I like how they keep going back and forth on this game of wits. Both Frank and Lily think that they know more than the other. So Frank will say something, Lily will counter. Frank will try to counter it again, and then Lily will try to counter it. It's really fun. And later when they pair up, it makes it seem, more natural. And I mean, even the villain, who is over the top and cheesy, and a German, because, this movie's a love letter to adventure movies, where most of the bad guys are Germans. So, and he's just basically really funny and goofy. And he kind of works. This is a movie that really doesn't take itself that seriously. It's not like we're, witnessing the world's Armageddon beam, and then this guy's just all like, oh yeah, that's right, it's time to dance. No. This is a guy who, wants to get immortality so he can win World War I, and his dad will love him again. He really isn't that serious. And that works in the movie's favor, because if this movie had a really serious villain for the most part, I don't really think it would have worked. This movie is how I said in my Mummy review that the Mummy, it tries to be a movie where you try not to think about it, but that doesn't work because you have to think about it for the plot to work. Well, you see, by having a zany over-the-top villain, you can have a plot where you can just sit down, relax, and watch it unfold, and just have a good time with it. And even though later they introduce a more serious villain, he doesn't even really show up all that much. and he still feels impactful. So yeah, I'd say this movie works a lot. I'm not going to go over a lot of the twists because I really want you to watch this movie. It's on Disney Plus, which means that you're probably going to watch it. I mean, come on, who doesn't have that shit? So yeah, watch that movie. If you liked my videos, subscribe for more, and yeah, this movie's like a 9 out of 10. It's really good. So watch it. Bye-bye.